Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over the all-new Fiat 500X Yacht Club Capri. Pretty interesting package. Let's get into it. Let's go over this Fiat 500. So first off, powering this, we have a turbocharged 1.3 liter four-cylinder that goes through a 9-speed automatic transmission. It's good for 177 horsepower and then 210 pound-feet of torque, with combined fuel economy being 26 miles per gallon, and this is all-wheel drive. So you guys can see the race portion on the hood there in the center. I think that looks pretty cool. I love the design there with the headlights. I think they look fantastic. And then you guys can see the chrome accenting and the Fiat logo there in the center. And notice this has a bunch of like lighting here, because down below that we've got the fog lights. So there's a lot happening from a lighting perspective. Parking sensors there integrated to the front end. And overall, from a front-end perspective, it kind of has that cool, like, retro-type design, you know, similar to, like, Mini Cooper. And it's funny, because you guys will see in the interior, there's a lot of elements that remind me of Mini, actually. And just giving you a size comparison, so that is a Stelvio Quadrifoglio. And you can see kind of, like, just how small this little SUV thing is. Anyways, notice that that white paint there continues on to the side. It was also on the front grille. And then you can see the design here on the wheels with the black in the center and then the silver around the outside. And then you guys can see the body painted fender flare, which looks great. And notice I love the coloration on the mirror caps. Kind of reminds me of like a plane, right, from like the 50s. Late 40s, early 50s. That's kind of what it reminds me of in terms of the appearance. Obviously, this is supposed to be like the yacht package, right? That's why it's in the name. But still, thought I'd mention that. Anyways, from a side profile perspective, again, you can see the size of it. I think it, you know, looks pretty good. Again, it looks so similar to Mini, though. That's the thing that I keep kind of thinking of whenever I look at it. Aside from that, you can see the coloration is actually blue there on the wheels. So sorry if I said black earlier. That's it. Like basically is to match the body paint, but it looked like from a distance it just looks dark. Anyways, they did put the sticker here so you can see the features on it and all that fun stuff. So freeze frame if you want to read everything that's on the sticker, so you can see all the stuff that comes with the car. That's something that I love that Stellantis did at the Chicago Auto Show, is they had these stickers on all their cars. So I imagine like a normal passerby that doesn't know anything about cars would be able to get basic information on it and kind of figure out what's happening. And notice again with the accenting here on the back, got your 500X badge right there. And then it is just a hydraulic hatch, I believe. Yeah, so this one, I remember this one was just hydraulic. Notice the extra storage space just underneath. And, for being such a small vehicle, it's actually relatively spacious. Kind of reminds me of like the Kia Soul in terms of the size of the vehicle. And then you can see here with the rear, love the taillights. I think the taillights look really cool with how they're stylized. Just throw a British flag in the center of them and they'll be a Mini Cooper taillight. I'm just kidding. I keep making that joke, sorry. Love the exhaust tips there with the diffuser at the bottom. Again, parking sensors there on the rear as well. And overall, it looks great. I think craziest element on this, again, I love how you've got a little yacht there on the back, is just the wheels having the blue on the center. I forgot about that until I just did this voiceover. Now, popping to the interior, this, really nice for a Fiat. I've been in a Fiat before. I've never reviewed one for the channel, and this definitely felt a lot more upscale compared to what I saw in the past. I think I was in like in a Barth or something like that. And this just, like the seats, I thought they looked pretty good. Material-wise, they felt nice as well. There are some cheaper materials throughout, but, a lot of the main touch points and, where you're going to sit and everything was good. Space in there was actually decent. Legroom, a little bit cramped, but headroom was great. And that's what you get with that kind of like boxy design. And then also notice the roof. I love how they kind of make it look like an old school convertible with like having the stitching lines through, if you guys know what I'm talking about. And then trim around the windows as well. I thought that was pretty nice. And then notice we've got keyless entry there on the front door panel. But again, you can see like the top of the door panel and everything, not necessarily the nicest material wise. And then some like the controls and everything. But again, some of the other major touch points at least look nice. And then you can see here with the front seats, again, kind of have the interesting design for the headrest, got the 500 logo there. And then the piping on the side I think looks great in contrast to all of it. And I was actually just seeing if the seats felt the same front and rear, and they actually did. And then also notice on the floor mats, you guys can see that whole setup is interesting. And then you got the pedal layout, light controls pulled straight out of other Stellantis products, which is okay with me. Wood trim there on the front. And then popping in, you can see here at the steering wheel. The steering wheel actually looks pretty nice, I think, with the 3-spoke design, got the Fiat logo. And then obviously a bunch of controls from other Stellantis vehicles. So if you guys own other Stellantis vehicles, you'll be very familiar with like this whole setup, which is great in my opinion, because then there's some familiarity when you go from brand to brand. I love the gauge cluster. My favorite like look is when you have 3 different gauges. Porsche used to do that back in the day, and I thought that looked great. And then I love how all the buttons are like over stylized, like they're massive. Got the vents down below, and then you guys can see here with the climate controls, and notice with the seat controls as well. I got the heated seats for the front. Interesting look for the shifter for that 9-speed automatic. And then you got the drive mode select, which is great. I love the look of that. Couple cup holders, and then you can see the parking brake right there, and then with the center console. Definitely solid from a storage space perspective, you know, for being a little vehicle. And then glove box. And then notice that wood trim there on the dash. And then you got like the control and everything there for the sunroof. And yeah, I mean, overall, it's definitely a quirky looking car, but it feels like it's like a Mini Cooper, but from a different brand almost. But I think it's cool overall.